The crazy Iranian regime are now blaming a list of people for the current uprising in the country. One of those people is Shakira. Yes, hips don't lie. We know hips don't lie. But Shakira is now responsible for the revolution in Iran. The nutters in Tehran, Ayatollah Khamenei and the supreme leader, and his friends and thugs are now going around spreading more propaganda by saying that this time Shakira is one of the people responsible for this uprising. Do you know why? Because she posted on Instagram the other day, a couple of days ago, saying that my heart is with Mahsa Amini's family, the 22-year-old woman who lost her life because she wasn't wearing the hijab properly, and the women and school girls of Iran and all those fighting for freedom of expression. Hashtag Mahsa Amini. That's all she said. Now, these guys have been very good in Iran with their propaganda since 1979. They've been very convincing enough that so many people in the West have fallen for this trick that they say death to America. They say, oh, anytime a revolution, an uprising happens or a protest, it's CIA behind it. It's America and Britain. You do realize your regime only came into power in 1979 because of CIA, because it was backed by CIA. You can't. We're not stupid. People in Iran are not stupid. But this is what they said. The regime are still maintaining that protests are not a deeply rooted expression of anti-government theory, but a massive conspiracy, apparently involving CIA, foreign and social media, Europeans, Israel, footballers, human rights groups, Balenciaga, the fashion group, and international civil society, Shakira, and the United Nations. There is definitely a point to be made that, of course, foreign countries always intervene with other countries. Manipulation always happens. China does it here as well. That's normal. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. It's globalization on steroid. The problem for the Iranian regime is that people are not falling for this trap anymore because we know that, in fact, it was America and Carter as the president of America who betrayed his own ally, the Shah of Iran. These mullahs only came into power because the Brits and Americans turned a blind eye and said, actually, let's bring him in. They prefer to have a weak enemy in Iran, the current regime, than an independent, strong ally and partner, because that strong, independent Iran could become strong and a bit arrogant, and they can't control them. That's what happened with the Shah of Iran. He became so strong, and he wasn't doing anything to the West. He was a friend to the West. He was an ally to America, to Israel, to Britain, but because he was his oil, and Britain was the sick man of Europe in the 70s, the oil prices were going up, and CIA and MI6 couldn't really control the Shah anymore. So when the nutters were protesting and doing the revolution at the time in 78, 79, they thought, maybe let's not really support our friend anymore. Let's just let him go down, and we'll deal with the nutters when they get into power. And since then, they can't control the nutters either. But the US Democrats have the blood of many Iranians and Americans on their hands because, as we said in the previous video yesterday, Carter betrayed the Shah. He was a Democrat. Barack Hussein Obama betrayed the Iranian Green Movement in 2009. The uprising was shut down and crushed thanks to Obama. And now Joe Biden is doing the exact same thing because Obama and Biden, these guys, the Democrats, they're obsessed with making deals with the Iranian regime and negotiating. And luckily, between 2016 and 2020, President Trump came and destroyed that Iran deal. But unfortunately, he went. And now we have this problem. The good thing is, hopefully he could come back in 2024. But by that point, you might actually have a free and democratic Iran again. Then you could actually have Iran, America, and Israel as proper allies in the region. So we could stop the nutters and Hamas and Hezbollah and Lebanon and all these other places. And we could actually have a bit of peace. Iran will not be controlled by America. Do not worry about that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be like the 20th century, because America has realized every single intervention has absolutely failed, from Vietnam to Iraq and Afghanistan and Iran with the coup in the 50s. That's enough of my rant. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe to the channel. My Tousi and we are the media.